for the interviews for the District 9 County Council primary election. And we appreciate you taking the time to meet with us. The way we run these interviews today, they will be a 30 to 35 minute interview. And we'll start off with each candidate taking a few minutes to introduce him or herself and also introduce his or her campaign and what's important to you and why you think the voters should vote for you instead of some of the others. We'll then open it up to questions, and the questions will carry us through the rest of the time. What we intend to do is publish information about the candidates in two ways. On our website, we publish what we call a digital dossier, which includes background information that we gather. There's also the questionnaire that we will post, and I believe we already have yours up there. We do have yours up there, so thank you for turning that around for us. And for the first time, we're videotaping the interviews, and we're going to put the videotaped interviews onto the internet and link to them on the website. And this is a voter education program, so the whole idea is to educate the voters in District 9 and give them an opportunity to learn about the candidates so they can make an informed decision in May and then again in November. So I'll conclude our little introductory remarks and turn things over to you.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
My name is Andre White. I'm also a candidate for County District 9. I'm a resident of Cleveland Ward 1 in the Lee Harvard community and a 38-year resident of the District 9. I have personally witnessed the ups and downs of District 9, and therefore I have made a strong commitment to dedicate a cause to enhance and strengthen the quality of life for residents in each and every community in District 9. During my journey of commitment, I became Vice President of the Harvard Community Service Center, which was founded by Ruth McCullough. Additionally, I became Vice President of the Harvard Community Development Corporation and a trustee of the Lee Harvard Community Association. Through these organizations, I have learned about the importance of social service issues, promoting stabilization and economic growth, and focusing on foreclosure and abandoned homes to make the community more viable and suitable for living. I'm also a 14-year member of RTA Advisory Board, and I'm also a 20-year veteran of the United States Army and an Iraqi veteran. Continuing my journey of commitment, in 2013, I was very instrumental and active for the passage of Issue 1, Human and Health Service, Issue 80, Metro Park, and Issue 82, Port Authority, and that was through Ward 1, in City of Cleveland, Ward 1 through Ward 10. The passage of the issue was very fundamental and crucial due to District 9 families and agencies relying on resources from these issues to help maintain a quality of life. And finally, my platform is to simply ensure transparent and efficient county government and ensure quality services from all county government agencies for our District 9 residents. And furthermore, my commitment to District 9 is to be fair and honest, support early childhood education, economic development, infrastructure projects, provide resources for abandoned foreclosed homes, and focus on one-stop employment and training programs, and maintain safe and secure neighborhoods to make our District 9 a viable community in Cuyahoga County. And that's my commitment.
Well, we haven't picked an order for asking questions, so we can just jump in. I have a few, but if anybody else wants to get started.
I have just a quick question right now. I think you did a great job on the introduction, by the way. Thank you. It lists that you're President and CEO of AMP Consultant and Management Team. Is that your current employment?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of consultant firm is it?
That consultant firm is a firm that helps candidates win elections. I do, let's see, how can I put it? I do canvassing door to door. I do field operation. I do GOTV and phone banking. And I recently was hired in 2013 by Terrell Pruitt. I was his campaign manager. And also I was a field director for Councilman T.J. Dow when he ran in 2013. And I was also, well, not affiliated with my company, I worked for Frank Jackson as his East Side coordinator. So I had 3 races. Oh, I also had another race, which was Councilwoman Equina Gina in Maple Heights District 7. So my company served and worked for those candidates, except for Mayor Jackson. That was different.
Okay, thank you for that. And, you mentioned you were in the military service for 20 years.
Yes, once again, I was 17 years reserve, 3 years active duty, and then the last year in 2003, I was activated to go to Iraq,
Okay,
and I retired in 2004.
2004. What was your rank?
I was an E4.
E4?
Yes.
Okay. That's where all the work's done, right? The non-coms,
Yes.
the non-coms make it all happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was in a leadership position. I used to
Yeah.
hold rank E5, but I didn't have the opportunity to go to my NCO training.
Sure.
So
Okay.
my rank got reduced.
Sure.
I'm Mr. White. My name is Jay Carson. First, I want to apologize that I was a little bit late. I was coming from the west side, and
You live in District 9.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery for me. But I wanted to follow up on the question about your company. If elected, how would you see the role of your company, continuing to work with doing political consulting, with your role as an elected official? I guess are there any barriers you put in there?
Yes,
or
there
safeguards?
is. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's yeah.
Yes, there is a barrier. I can no longer run that company. So when if I'm elected, then my job is automatically to get some of these issues and help people get elected. So I will no longer take a fee or anything like that if elected.
Okay.
One of the things we try to do, as I indicated, is educate the voters, not just about the candidates' campaign issues, what's important to them, but also about their background. Could you just tell us a little bit about your personal background, where you grew up, that sort of thing?
That's my favorite. I am a 39 resident of the Lee Harvey community. Lee Harvey community is it's a well middle class community that is on the southeast side of Cleveland. We are one of the highest voting areas in the city of Cleveland, and we have one of the second highest precincts, I believe, or the 4th highest precinct in the county, that voting location in the county. We also are #1 in the nation as a ward that strictly votes 99% for the presidential election. And also, we helped Cuyahoga County be 2nd in the nation as Cuyahoga County came on top of the presidential election. We have, we're a nice community. We are about housing stock. I serve on 3 community boards, and once again, we're affiliated with